Hi, welcome to Mixed Media Creations with me, Creative Katie, Karen Burchell. Follow me on Instagram. Here's the address. Check out what I'm up to day to day and get sneak peeks of projects before the video goes live. Don't forget to hit subscribe, that way you won't miss any videos. Today we are doing the next in the Journaling by Fives Revisited and Revamped series. This Friday, it's Step 4, Adding Color. I don't mind telling you, I ran into some technical difficulties and some painting activities. Here's some hints so you can be more successful than I. Copies of these can be found in my Facebook group, link in the description box.
Hi everybody, Creative Katie, Karen Burchell, and I'm getting ready to do step 4 in Journaling by Fives, Revamped and Revisited. This was originally Shannon Green's brainchild. It started about 3 years ago, and it's a wonderful process. Check out my introductory video as well as the other 3 videos where I've done the 3 prompts. This prompt is paint. So unlike the original, I am doing the paint in the 4th step, not in the 1st. So I'm a little nervous about it because I can see some of the difficulties. Now I have texture paste on here, so that's going to be somewhat interesting to paint. And then there's, you can't just slap it on. I guess you can, but I've got some color and pattern here, and that's making it challenging to do. So what I've decided to do, as I recommended, I gave as an option, I am going to spend half of my time. I've split my colors. These are kind of the warm colors. So I'm going to do those in the first few minutes, and then these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the last in the second half. And I'm going to stop in between and get new paint and put these away because it's simply, there's just going to be too much paint. Now you can limit the paint, you can just go with the certain colors if you do this sooner on, right? This is just the way I'm going to do it. Now I thought about using my Inktense blocks and just doing, rubbing it and putting it on. But I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna go with acrylics. So what I have here is just some of the colors that go with the first 10 pages. And I've plopped some on, hopefully that's enough. And I'm going to wet this down. Most of these are Liquitex Basics, and they are heavy bodied. I do have my palette knife here in case I decide that I want to use that. I have a couple wet rags because I'm planning on painting with my fingers. My goal is not going to be to get every square inch of this painted. We'll see how I do. But I'm thinking I'm going to spray the paper with water to get some of it to run. Now, of course, this is all in my head. I don't know if that is going to work. And I guess we're going to find out together. So I'm going to put the timer on. And so 15 minutes, I think this is going to be 11 of them. So I have it for 8 minutes. The other one is going to, I guess I can do it 7. Oops, cancel. Let's just leave it at this, at 8. Hopefully I put up enough paint. I'm gonna put this on this side, these on that side. I've got the whole table here again. And I'm just going to get a little head start there. Sorry. And go. This is going to be troublesome, I can see right off the bat. And toss, wipe. Ooh, that's the wrong color. In there for sure. My paint seems to have dried a bit. We will never have enough paint if I keep putting so much. I'm really not liking this. telling myself you can always come back and you can finish later. Can always add and you can blend and add and oh, I'm not liking that at all, at all, at all. Okay, so I have 2 left, so they're gonna go into the next pile. And I am going to take whatever leftover paint here and I'm going to put this on some deli papers and stuff. Just for that. So, yeah. Forgot to hit the stop button, the start button. So I have the timer. Oh. I shouldn't have done that. Okay. So definitely faster. And the timer. So, technical difficulties. Definitely faster using a brush, watered down paint in the palette and with the palette knife. Definitely. So I'm gonna get these dried off and I'll show you what I have. Okay, so everything's cleaned up and I have a mass of deli papers, the beginnings of collage papers. So here we have it, and I kind of, you know, it's a good thing I kind of step away. I said when I was done, it was like, oh, I just don't like it. But, you know, I've looked over them now, and I'm a little bit okay with it. So, you know, we have color here. And remember, you're going to put a focal point on here, and then you can come back and You can add more color, you could gesso, you could push white to push something back that you don't like. You have the option to do lots of things. The look of these sheets have dramatically changed, I think. And any ideas I may have had or starting to have for finishing them up may have changed. So here's number 1. And number 2. Interestingly enough, now, you know, before the orientation was definitely this way. Now, because the collage sheets and papers aren't as predominant, they don't feature as predominantly, now I can have options with, you know, so I may choose to put, you know, the focal point this way, or I could put it this way. So it's number 2. I think this is one of my favorites. I like how this is dark here and then it's light here, and it just, I really like this, so hopefully we'll find a good focal point. This one, you know, it's okay. It's not calling to me. I think we've melded a few of the isolated pieces a little bit with the color, but we'll see where we can go. I like the texture in here, and as I went through, the first time I was doing it with my finger, the first 8 minutes, I really found it easier to do it with the palette knife and with a brush. So have lots of brushes, and having the deli papers and gel prints, that kind of dictated the color a little bit, and that was kind of easier. It meant you kind of needed a lot of colors out, but you know, it kind of helped that process. You already have something down there. This one, you know, definitely, you know, in later stages bring out the texture more. You know, and one of the things that I found myself doing was taking the wet rag and, you know, rubbing it off. And I mean, hey, that's fair game. I really like the effect of that. This one I have some white space in, so I'm, you know, I liked it before better. Now I have a challenge. And, you know, as I get to look here, I kind of wiped off some. And then you get the many multi-tones of that. You know, when all else fails, put some glimmer and shimmer on it. Now this one, right off from the beginning, this was one of my least favorites, and it is very much now one of my favorites. Every step, it just seems to grow on me. So I really like that one. This one, I like it better with the color. Before there was such an imbalance of just color over here and then this over here. We have a blank space here, so I'm thinking, you know, focal point's going to go there. Oh, this is a hot mess. But it's, you know, you've got color on the background and a focal point, and away you go. This one I didn't put much paint on it at all. I wish I had stopped and not put that on, but I can always wipe that back out if I want to, right? So you have the power to do that. But I like, you know, I'm still liking this. I don't know what to do with it afterwards. Another hot mess. We've got teals and we got shimmers, and you know, I think there's some things we can do. We can bring out the texture, and you know, I think I'm going to play out the circles like you've seen me do in a few videos, art journal videos. This one, you know, again, I worked on with the colors that were there. There is a shimmer on there. I use the purple Artist Loft paint, and this is Prussian blue. I just love, love, love Prussian blue. So I'm kind of liking that, you know. again, if you want later to add color, you can just add those colors in that finishing stage if you decide that you don't want it as white space. So this, you know, it looks very different than where it was. The colors definitely came from the gel print. I like it. I like teal and that violet color. And I like the whites poking through. This one again, took the colors out and blended them. I didn't like this collage item, so it's been kind of pushed to the back. Probably I'll put a focal point there because what you don't like, you can cover up, right? This one, we have lots of interest and stuff. I'm not, you know, again, this is lots of texture here. And the colors are just vibrant. We got metallics going on. And this one with lots of white space. So I did manage to get a couple with white space, whether they stay that way or not. So what I'm going to do is just take a couple days, and I'm not going to, you know, look at this. I'm going to look at the colors and, you know, see if the pages are speaking to me. And then I'm going to go through my big blue box. I have all my magazine cutouts and things, and I'm going to go through there, the focal points, and find focal points that I think, you know, size wise and, you know, based on the colors that we have. And one of the things I'm going to recommend, and I'll put a link to in this video, is you can go watch the Mixed Media Technique tag video on using matching focal points to backgrounds, because there's, you know, I talk about 3 ways, the ABCs of doing that. Whether you go analogous color scheme, where you're keeping the same colors as the background, or you use bold and bright like silhouettes or white to bring out the focal point, or complementary colors. So, you know, using orange on the blue, or using, you know, with the on here, using maybe yellow and having those really pop here, kind of using coral or peach might really pop on these backgrounds. So, and vice versa. I could put teal on here. I can put green on here if I wanted to. So go and take a look at that video. I think there's a lot of good information on how to think about those when you're selecting them. Then you're just going to have them all laying out, and you know what? The timer goes on, and it doesn't matter how much you plan and think you have, you know, an idea. This went totally a different way than I imagined. Totally a different way. I think these are my 2 favorites. I hope you're enjoying this. I hope what you see here is encouraging you to take the leap. Bye for now.